everyone, welcome back to Star Player 1. I'm Brandonite, and we are continuing on with Leviathan, last day of the decade. Last time we left off, so we were talking to our guardian here, Orwood, and we managed to get rid of all our evidence, hide it, so he couldn't find it. And he was telling us how, in reality, we constantly want him to, he knows that we don't like him, and that he killed our mother. But at the same time, he's like, just forget about it. We're a family now. Let's just focus on that. Why has the carriage stopped? We have already arrived, Christian. Oh, really? Look out the window. Indeed. Wow, time sure does fly. Let's get into the house, Oliver. I'll order dinner for you. I mean, he cares. And he tells us all the stories about how he was helping us grow up, basically. Finally, I'm home. I'm depressed, exhausted, and angry at myself. Christian called me for dinner, but I don't want to eat, so I refuse. It seems he's upset. Thinking about it, the whole day was a bit of a mockery for me trying to learn the truth. 10 years of going around looking for nothing. It turns out all I had to do was go to the archive and study some documents for a couple of hours. Way to go, Oliver Bertrand. You're incredibly stupid. What's even worse is that all my evidence means nothing. And I'm not even sure that I want to punish Christian, but I won't stop either. Besides, I don't know if he has anything to do with all these missing children. Something tells me that those clippings are very valuable. Oh. Hey, Edna. Oliver, welcome back, sweetie. Do you want me to put on your slippers? I brought some food, my sweetie. Here's some stew with sour cream in it, and beans and hot sauce. Take your seat. Edna, how many times have I told you if I don't like beans? Oh no, really? But your guardian says you have to eat them. He says it's good for your heart. Grumble, grumble. What's wrong with you? You don't want beans? But you always want to drink wine at night. Okay, I know, oh you don't. One day I'll die from eating so many beans though. Here, my sweetie. Wash your hands before you eat. There are germs, bacteria, and all sorts of nasty things on them. You know, you'll get sick. You'll eat something in your morning, and by evening you'll be throwing up bile, having bloody diarrhea, and your eyes will be yellow like someone who is dying. Joel, my dear husband, once talked about how he went fishing. He talked about how one of his friends got worms. They started crawling from under his skin. His friend ate some raw fish. Edna, what the hell are you talking about? You could have just waited until I was finished eating. Bon appetit, my sweetie. I am sorry, sweetie. I wasn't trying to be mean. Don't get mad at the old woman. Perhaps we can talk about something more pleasant. How is your investigation going? Will you tell me? Well, I'll tell her where I go. Investigation. Oh, Edna, there are so many details. So I'll tell you briefly what happened. Christian didn't kill Mother. His shadow did it. Really? Oh yes, I knew it. That vile demon. It's strange to hear one aberrant talking trash about another aberrant. What else, my sweetie? I want to hear every detail. I don't know why, but she's acting suspicious. I think for now, I won't tell her about the Amber and newspaper clippings that talked about the lost children. Come on, Master. Don't keep me waiting. It feels like you're eating my heart with mustard sauce. It's too long of a story, and I'm very tired. If you want, I'll tell you tomorrow. Everything right down to the last detail. Right down to the last detail? Oh, no, sweetie, I can't wait. I want to sleep and then disappear, okay? As you wish, my sweetie. I'll leave you now. And then disappears into thin air. Yeah, she was kind of... Tell me everything. Tell Confessive Air. Christian made me appreciate gifts ever since I was little. Once he saw me throw my jacket on the chair, oh, how furious he got. Are you a commodore or something? He angrily asked me. Don't you dare, Oliver. Don't you dare do that again. You hear me? You, me, and the other nobles are special people. And you, Oliver, are one of the most special. Don't disappoint me and don't screw yourself up. I'll never forgive you. Oliver pulls the blanket. It was a crazy night. My head's spinning. Maybe I should go to sleep. Yeah, let's go to bed. He lays down in bed and tries to sleep. I don't know why I can't sleep. I can't help but be thinking about today. Christian, you're right. These 10 years have brought us closer together than my relationship with my mother, despite her being flesh and blood. Sherry Bertrand does not exist anymore. Well, not in my memory anyway. Maybe there's still a secret place in my heart of hearts that I don't know about, where all my memories and love for her are stored. Time itself stored those memories. It dragged them into a dusty closet, and my soul felt the weight of the emptiness that remained. I know why I can't sleep. I want to remember what Mother looked like. There's probably something of hers left in the room. I took everything I held dear with me when I was given to Christian. It's time to remember. I had to find things that remind me of my mother. It's a small landscape of my house. My guardian gave it to me when I turned 14. These past 10 years I spent with him are full of joy and wonderful memories. I used to not notice, I never thought about those memories were important, and if I did think about it, then I tried to poison him with hatred and desire to take revenge. Oh, how stupid I was. Even that nice picture would create a storm of anger within me. I got mad thinking about that my guardian was purposely trying to remind me of my mother and what happened that night. It's a small mirror in a silver case. I remember how my mom took it everywhere with her. Once we went walking in the forest. We wandered around half a day, and then we came to a meadow. We literally fell on the grass and laid there for a long, long time. I was tired of just lying there. Mother says that I was bored and invented a game. She used the mirror to reflect the sun's rays next to where I was laying. She said his name is Saul. He's a kind cloud spirit, a fish that the sun floating in the sky decided to give you. Saul will be your friend. That game was really fun. I ran around the field trying to catch that little light. I gave it a bath in the stream and even built a small wooden house for it. Despite everything, Mother could really make up an interesting story about ordinary things. Fluffy old shawl made from a tough, prickly wool. It's one of the few things I still have that reminds me of my mother. Even after so many years, it still has the faint, warm scent that makes it so. Of lavender. When it was cold outside or when I was afraid of the dark or being alone, Mother would come, cover me up with my shawl, and sit next to me on my bed. Sleep, my dear. Soon it will be morning, and the sun will come up over the mountains and give light to the whole world. For now, just sleep. Mom, I can't sleep again. Oh, I want to hear your lullaby one more time. I remember. I used to have Mother's portrait years ago. I hid it in my wardrobe with all my clothes and forgot about it. I need to find it. I want to remember what she looks like. It's a portrait of my mom in a simple frame. All her pulls about the blankets. It was a crazy night. My head's spinning. Maybe I should go to sleep. I can't get Mother's image out of my head. I want to find the memory of her. That's probably the last thing. Okay. I gotta examine it. Then I take it. There it is. Mother, I almost forgot what you look like. It's easy for me to think of this just as a portrait of a pretty lady. Mother was really wonderful. Those eyes, and she always kept her lips slightly open. I just remembered something. The memory that I have is like an old translucent film. It's worn and faded, and light passes right through it, making it difficult to see the details. But at least I can see it. I was still a baby lying in my cradle and covered with white fluffy blanket. Mother got me out of the crib, stroked my face, and rocked me. She whispered something to me. I didn't understand what she was saying, but that doesn't matter. I can pretend that she's still saying things like I want to hear. I really wish I could touch her, and for her to touch me in return. I really like that. I want more than that. I want that more than anything in this world. Ah. Oliver puts the portrait aside. I just got a chill like someone's gonna jump out at me. Oliver pulls up the blanket. It was a crazy night. My head's spinning. Maybe I should go to sleep. The tree! How could I forget about it? I remember the tree saying that it would come to me every time I fall asleep. That means I'll see it tonight. I've been nervous and unreasonably suspicious lately, but the tree? I don't like the tree. I need to reflect a bit. Learn more. I'm probably worried about nothing. It's normal to be afraid of someone you're not familiar with. That's why I need to learn more about the tree more. It's a crazy day, my head's spinning. Okay, yep. Whatever, what happened? I'll just keep my eye on the tree. Okay, let's sleep. Oliver lays down, pulls the blanket over him, and goes to sleep. Hello, tree. Hello, young Bertrand. The heavenly sphere agonizes every time you come here. I feel how strong we are becoming. We'll talk about that later. Now I want to remind you about the conversation we had during our first meeting. You have lived up to my expectations, young Bertrand. You have remained on the path of purity, and that pleases me. When you awake, you'll find a small yet useful gift in your bag. I'm just glad to see that you have not been plunged into the abyss of abhorrence. More, however, your inner strength has grown. Your actions have taught you valuable lessons, and now you can take 10 steps towards aberrations instead of 5. Alright, so we have more leadway to go if we want to go down the corrupt path. I encourage you to be wise, young Bertrand. Follow the path of light and power, and your natural inclinations for evil will disappear by themselves. If you feel that you wish to ask me a question, I see it burning your mind. Tree, what is our strength that you talked about in the beginning? It's the ancient awakening. It's the ancient strength of the Vertrans, Oliver. It has slept with you for years, but now it is awakening. Neither you nor I alone can achieve what only a few elite mortals attain, but together it is possible. I want to show you something amazing, young Vertran. Have you ever wondered what one of your friends is thinking? Sometimes. Choose someone you know. Tell me who you've chosen. Let's look at my mother. I wonder what my mother is thinking. You only see a black void, young Bertrand. Your mother is dead and her mind is not as well. Choose someone you know. Tell me who you've chosen. Let's know about a Christian. I want to know what Christian's thinking about. Impossible. You're not strong enough yet, young Bertrand. But you will. One day you will. I'm not strong enough. I thought your strength allows me to read thoughts, Tree. Well, like I said, you are me and I am you. Our energy is intertwined, young Bertrand. Choose someone you know. Darina? I want to know what Darina thinks about me. That's easy. Look, I'll show you. Oliver, I only want to fool around with him for a couple times, and that's it. I don't even like talking to him. He's turned into a real dork and has no fashion sense. He's always dressed horribly and never cares about what he looks like. His boots cost several hundred gold a pair, but they're thrown out like he's a peasant. At least he's not stupid. He's a bit sloppy, but at least he acts like a man, especially compared with that fat idiot Alistair. I can't believe that he was such a wimp when he was little. I could almost cry. He used to be such a weakling. His arms were puny and he wore a green bow around his neck and his mother tied around him. Ha! He has definitely changed. Tree, is all this real? I don't need to answer that question, Bertrand. Your mind already knows the answer to that, as well as the answer to many other questions. Of course, Tree. I know this is all real, but it's just hard to believe. Did you want to ask how we're floating in the middle of the ocean? You read my mind? And there aren't any walls, markers, or defined paths you can go down? Tree, that's enough. I don't like where this is going. Forgive me, young Bertrand. You're confused, and I forget that sometimes when I talk with you. I forget that when I talk with you. Are you talking with me or just reading my thoughts? Forgive me again. From now on, I will try not to do it. Just remember, you choose the path that you take. You choose the path. Tree. The tree starts to fade, disappear into perpetual darkness. Oliver opens his eyes and stretches out on the bed. Ah. Morning already? Master, get up. Your guardian sent me to wake you. Edna, since when do you run errands for him? Don't talk like that, my sweetie. You know I'm a good demon. I only serve you. Get dressed, sweetie. We don't have much time. By the way, you promised to tell me about yesterday's investigation. I just can't wait, Master. I almost feel like Christian might be using her, or like corrupted her and is taking control of our demon. No, I know. You said yourself I don't have much time. You're right. I don't have much time at all. What can be easier and worse than tricking an old woman? You should be ashamed, my sweetie. Why is she so interested in what happened? And now I'm ready. Have a good day, you little liar. Oliver leaves the room. Hey, Christian! Good morning. My boy, how did you sleep? Not bad, Christian. And you? I didn't sleep very well last night, Oliver. Damn insomnia. Today, as usual, Weston will take me to the bank and then drop you off at the academy. It's a pity that we did not have the time to have breakfast together over warm morning coffee. Even our conversations become warmer. What? Insomnia? You said you had insomnia? Yeah, the whole night I was remembering the past. Looks at the window. There are so many thoughts that creep into my mind at midnight, and I kept sitting in my office. It was raining outside and the lamp burned in my room as if it was a circle that protected me. Protected? Yep, from the most terrible memories you can have. I always feel that people from my past, dead people, are walking around my desk and looking at me, and only a bright light can keep me from seeing them. I actually wonder if it's his shadow that he's actually afraid of, and he knows that his shadow is corrupting him, and so he's actually trying to fight it. Last night I was especially uncomfortable. My dead father appeared and my grandmother. They were whispering silently and were unhappy with me, and Monty the First was sitting near the door. He was tied up and looking. Christian, who is Monty the First? Monty? Didn't I tell you? Strange, Monty the First was my dog, Oliver. Tell me about him. I was 6 years old, Oliver. Do you know what happened to a 6-year-old boy who has no friends and is terribly lonely? He wants a dog. My father was fed up with my begging. He quickly got tired of it. One morning, he gave me a small white puppy. He didn't even wake me. He just put it in the box in front of my door and left. I called the puppy Monty the First. I thought it was an appropriate name. Now I think that was a bit pretentious. They should have never trusted me with a dog. I was a boy. Could I train it or teach it? My parents could have taught it, but they were totally indifferent to me. My father was always out in business with other great families. He traveled and was never home. My mother never loved me. She had Bram and was proud of him. Bram? Bram is my older brother. Poor Monty. To tell you the truth, I spoiled him. It's bad to give a dog treats and let him sleep with you in the same bed. They were simple rules, but I didn't follow them. You see, neither my father nor my mother taught me. They only prohibited me from doing things. They probably thought that the restrictions were a good replacement for a good upbringing. I became attached to Monty strongly. I didn't want to punish him or come up with stupid rules. In the end, I didn't care if he chewed my old toys or tore up the carpet. I thought it was fun. I wanted my mother to come to my room and see what had happened to all my puppets in the rug. I wanted her to see the face at such a moment. But she never came. Not even once. Father? He left in October and returned 2 years later. He didn't care about the rug. He knew we had a lot of money. You know, I tried to train Monty, but I couldn't. I couldn't be strict enough, and Monty misbehaved too much. Once he ran off into the woods, I forced our servants to find him. All the servants kept running around. The butler put me on the horse. I held onto his cloak and I yelled, "Monty! Monty!" It was scary, Oliver. It was the first time I rode a horse. I had a silk pouch with marzipan. We rode the whole night and I threw candy on the ground. I thought that Monty would find us quickly. In the morning, we returned home. Monty was sleeping on my bed, all messy and wet. I was so happy that he was alive. If I had known about what was to happen, perhaps even then, I was sorry he didn't run away. If he knew what was about to happen. What happened? When my father returned from his expedition, Monty turned 2 years old. There was a big celebration. Our whole family gathered together. Even my damn brother came. The war had ended and Bram decided to come home. He smiles. War? I thought we tried not to talk about it. Oliver, in Sankur, there was a rebellion. The council sent a punitive expedition. Bram was the lieutenant and returned to captain. He was covered in medals and honors. He always drank but was never drunk. He would sit at the table next to our father. He was on the right and I was on the left. That evening, all the guests only noticed Bram. He told horrible stories. Oliver. Everyone listened. They were all spellbound. His dog was laying down behind him. It was a big black dog that was blind in one eye. Bram always looked at it. We would talk and glance over at it. He said how a dog could find rebels in the basement by smelling them. Bram and his team would boil water in pots and pour it down the basement windows. My brother said that the dog was worth more than a dozen soldiers. He said that if it helped him advance his career, become a commander. Then Father, Christian is silent for a moment, collecting his thoughts. Father told me, "Christian, bring Bram your dog." It was a bad idea, but I was scared to disobey him, so I called Monty. That's exactly what he was waiting for. Monty flew into the hall, started looking at me. Our guests laughed. Then he ran up to Father, dug his paws into his chest, and started licking him. Father fought back, but in the end, Monty threw Monty onto the floor. When he started to eat this food from the table and climbed to on the tablecloth with his dirty paws, the guests stopped laughing. Closing his eyes, I barely was able to grab him by the collar and lead him to the door. When I got back, everyone was silent. Bram said, "White guards make wonderful assassins. You spoiled a wonderful dog, Christian. You ruined him." I never forget what Father said. "Bram, stop. A dog is just like its master. It takes on his qualities, whether good or bad. It's a reflection of him." I couldn't bear that. I ran out of the room. Father said something, but I didn't hear it. Monty was sitting in my room when he saw me. He wagged his tail and started to lick me. Even when I sat on his him and pulled his collar up with both hands, Monty didn't resist. He thought I was playing with him, and he probably believed that I wouldn't do anything bad to him. I never heard him before. When he started to choke, he laid his hand on the floor and whined, but I kept pulling and pulling. Christian stops and looks into space. I wanted to destroy him. I remember the shame, the burning shame and the hurtful, bitter words of my father. I wanted to forget those 2 years forever. That evening, the night in the forest, the candy I stole from the kitchen for Monty, I wanted to forget about the white puppy that squeaked funny when he tossed and turned in the basket. At first, I thought I could burn his body in the fireplace, but I couldn't even lift him. He was too heavy. I couldn't even skin him. I cut his hair with mother scissors and threw it into the fire, and I sat there all night. Christian thinks deeply as if remembering something. Achievement, and then I choked him. Well, we are here, my boy. I think I should remind you that our agreement doesn't mean anything, but nevertheless, be the home. No later than 9. I know, Christian. Alright. I'm going. Studies and knowledge awaits you. I, on the other hand, can expect a mountain of paperwork and contracts to be on my desk about a round-down garment factory. Can you believe that they want me to lend them $200,000? But I'm sure if that's the money, that the money won't help. My late father said you need to be able to make heads roll. He was talking about real heads, of course. I'm afraid that I'll need to make a few heads roll out all at once today. It's difficult to solve financial problems. Yes, Christian, about financial problems. Oh yes, of course, your allowance, right? Although, wait. Someone, a little bird, told me that you wanted to help an old jeweler. He learned about that. Oliver, your position demands that you take on public opinion seriously. Should a noble serve a mudblood old man? What do you think, Oliver? You're so independent that you can earn money through common labor, then you surely should have need for coin for urgent things. Let it be a lesson to you. Today, I won't give you any money. Christian, don't you dare talk back. And don't be late. Class is starting. Hurry up and be a good boy. Till evening. Until evening. Christian gets out of the carriage. Wait, no, you give me an allowance, I'm fine. And there is a collar. What is that? A collar? We don't have a dog. What? Why would my guardian selling you a collar? I'll take it. Takes the collar and hides it in his bag. Alright, we're going to end it there. We learned some more about Christian, learned more about a dog that he had, apparently. If you're liking what you're seeing in the videos, like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next Star Player 1 video. Bye!